Okay, so what me and the brother Reggie was talking about a lot was the 924C stacking and how the laws are just completely imbalanced and pretty much it's lynching, it's legal lynching. So I want you
Right.
to tell a little bit more about what 924C does and stuff like that because you know a lot about it. I haven't gone in depth into it, so I'm gonna speak. I
Okay.
want to speak for you. For you.
Yeah. My name is Richard View. Uh, I've been down approximately 27 years. I'm a product of the stacking 924C firearm, and what that is uh, your initial gun is 5 years. Any subsequent gun, the time I came in was 20 years, but it's 25 now. So any gun after the first one is considered stacking, or how they say second or subsequent firearm,
Pretty much
commonly
running the
known as
time
stacking.
consecutive, whatever each gun charge carries.
Right, right. So, it's interesting. I've been having conversations with my family, actually earlier, of how unjust you have these findings. Like the Sentence Commission in respect to the 924C has had findings. For instance, they had one with the crack cocaine, and you have all these empirical findings that show how these are these sentencing dole out are draconian, and they're targeted towards blacks and minorities.
Yep. Yep.
And it's like you have these facts, you have this truth, and it's played with, it's toyed with, its lives are on the line.
But
It's like a flip.
the regular people out here, they don't know about it. They like see unless it happens to them or they're in that type situation, they don't know. And we're trying to like shed light on
Yes.
this. By the way, you guys, this is my good brother Richie Rich. Listen, man, I watch this man, and he's one of the ones that just boggle my mind because I'm like, how can you walk around with so much time and just have a smile on your face and be positive and you stay in school like he helped people with their law work like he does so much. He's in school like with like teaching classes because me and we taught classes together up in education, did a whole bunch of stuff together there at Talladega. So, but I had to really give my man his props, man. He's a soldier, and it's not right what they did to him, and a lot of the people that are incarcerated under the 924 C stacking laws. So I don't mean to cut you off. I had to put that in there for you, bro. Had to.
All right. No problem. Um, it's like it's a saying like ignorance is bliss,
Yeah.
and and when society doesn't know about these harsh things, especially when your target practice, you can't turn a blind eye to it.
No.
You have those pocket situations that really are eye openers.
Like, look at the kids now. Look at how these kids are acting. Like, they can't even control them. And especially with the gang stuff, it's out of control.
That's right. You know, so people need to be aware of the fundamentals of law. They don't have to necessarily know the whole intricate details of it, but the fundamentals of it.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
the basics.
uh, you follow things, the trend that's going on in society. So they talk, hone in on things that that they're trying to target.
Yeah. And they changed the laws to
Uh,
that way.
right? Because you bombarding people's mind with these images, right?
Yeah.
Because you need the support behind them.
Yeah.
That's how these laws are created.
Yeah.
You know, with the people and through the people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's to go back to back step. You have these findings of how these laws are very harsh. It creates disparities, but nothing's being done. It's like a can that's kicked down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't
And
lying. We've forgotten about.
run down an example is like, for instance, when the crack cocaine epidemic. You know, it was a bunch of hype that it was more addictive than cocaine, so forth and so on. But as time went by, the truth started coming out that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So
This call is from a federal prison.
you had a situation where in 2010, under the Obama administration, they changed the ratio from 100 to 1 to
Yep.
18 to 1.
Yep.
So back then, you got a little drugs, you getting life sentence.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now the sentence disparity has been minimized, but not completely eliminated. That's what they're trying to do now.
Yeah.
But you had these findings back then.
Yep.
So check it. So in 2018, you get the First Step Act.
Yep. That's the big one right there.
Now you have all these findings. Now you want to, because in 2010 it applied to those from 2010 forward. So you got a bunch of people who's been incarcerated under the crack epidemic.
Yeah, and then they're not making it retroactive. Yeah, and they're not making it retroactive.
Right. 8 years later to make it retroactive.
Yeah.
So you made people stay in prison longer with the underlying facts that it should have been retroactive.
And they were wrong. They were wrong.
It was wrong. But the same thing applies to the 924C stacking. Because like in the First Step Act, there's a provision correcting or trying to bring justice to that disparity, but it only applies to 2018 forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they, through data, they know, like with the crack, they knew how many people would be affected by a change or reduction in sentence, the potentiality, right?
Yeah.
The number for the 924C defendants are substantially lower than the amount of those affected with crack.
Yeah.
But you don't make it retroactive.
No, they just left everybody.
That's that so-called political can I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think it runs like 3,000 people will be affected if they made the First Step Act, I believe it's Section 403 retroactive. Correcting the stacking provision.
Yeah.
But you slowly releasing the vow if you give these defendants relief, because that 3,000 is not going to get out immediately.
Yeah.
Because that firearm is attached to another crime.
Yeah.
So you're putting these defendants in the right position with a sentence reduction. They still serving their time. They're still paying their debt to society.
Yeah.
So to not make it retroactive is to add salt to injury, to add injury to insult.
Yeah.
So you pouring a lot of salt on that wound.
Cause it's like okay, we're gonna change the law. We were wrong, but the ones that we got already, we ain't letting y'all go. Y'all hit. Y'all just gonna sit there.
Right.
And now the ones that come after that, then it's like, okay, we can't do that because that's how we used to do, but we're not going to change and let anybody free. We're just going to keep them locked up until the people actually say something, because people don't know. That's the reason why, it's a very small percentage of people out here that knows what's going on.
Right. And that's a big issue. And I appreciate brothers like you, sisters out there, bringing awareness to this type of issue.
Yeah, because it's affecting the future, man.
Right, because in the example I gave in respects to the crack, we're having the repeat.
Yeah.
It's like that saying. It's like that famous saying that if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it.
Yeah.
This is being repeated.
This call is from a federal prison.
On the respective level that it is on, so it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
With something else.
Yeah. And
justice is to bring fairness to the situation.
Yeah.
And this is not fair.
It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. It's just right and wrong, man. And everything, the way everything is set up and stuff like that, it's just wrong. And they're not giving anybody relief. Even just the fact that they took parole out of the systems, at the federal system and stuff like that, that's crazy. I was going over looking at how they sentence people around the world, man. And I mean, at the top of the list, granted, he did a whole bunch of crazy stuff. They gave him like 161 life sentences and like 3,000 years parole or some crap like that. I'm like, man. But in other countries, they give out a bunch of time, but the maximum amount of time the individual serves is like 25 to 30. I think the most I've seen was like 40 years. And that's like pushing it.
Right.
But they outlawed it in most countries. They said it was inhumane. But the way they're sentencing people and the enhancements that they're giving out are just ridiculous. Like, I actually, if you actually look into the books and the sentencing guidelines and stuff like that, and these dudes out here is doing all this stuff, and they really see what they can get for it's shocking.
It's astronomical.
Yeah.
And now, for instance, like when I came in back in '95, under the 924C stacking, the consecutive sentence was 20 years.
Yeah.
But as time went by, now we're mind you, we're operating under draconian laws.
Yeah.
They increased it to 25 years.
Wow.
With the stacking provision in play.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you handing out a boatload of time.
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
That is like nobody can outlive that. Like even if, and it's just that shit's fucking man. Yeah.
And like you're saying, you have to have some type of fairness. Like United States, I love this country. Don't get me wrong, but we lock up more of our citizens than any other country around the world.
Put together, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the lion's share.
Yeah.
Of countries out there.
And we treat our people the worst.
In other countries, life is a generation, sort of say, 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's more
rational
fair
and rational
for all
for
things
real.
considered.
It's just more rational.
Even though there should be a lot of alternative programs and laws and what may have you, things that actually, for instance, there was this guy, he was the mentor to me, and he says, how can you rehabilitate somebody who's never been rehabilitated?
Wow! In the first place.
So
wow.
Right. So that's the problem. So so we have to go down to groundbreaking methods, to stop that pipeline from school to prisons, from street to prison.
Listen, right now.
Something has to be.
Right now on the news, bro, every day these kids is going crazy, and I'm be telling people like, man, we the only ones that can change them and help them because we know what it's like to be out there in that world, in them streets and stuff like that. And after going through the system and stuff like that, like, man, you don't want no parts of it. It's not worth it. Just this is the way, you know what I mean? Somebody loves you. Yeah. Like, even in the worst place like we was at, you got people around that actually care and love you, man. And
hey, listen,
it's beeping.
The 15 minutes is up. Is about to hang up any second.
Well, we'll touch back, man. We'll schedule something, man. We'll get back in it. Hello.
We definitely will. So the people's out there. Hope y'all listening. This is Severity News.
Damn, it's gone. Yeah, it's over with. Well, I'm gonna give him a call back again. That was my big brother Richie too, man. This guy, man, when I tell you, like, he took a bunch of programs. A lot of the dudes that I dealt with back there, just like Reginald Woods and Edrin Rubiz. Who else? Chris Hunter, friggin' Craig Pritchett, and all these guys like got boatloads of time, right? But you would never know it if you dealt with them. I promise you. And all of them have. Oh, how can I put it? They're just people that if they were released, you would never know that they've been like you would never know, and they're just humble, smart as hell. And I'm like, I don't even understand why you're here, and but people change, and that's the thing. And these laws need to change because some of the way they sentence people, and just parole, bring back parole. Okay, you don't want to change, you don't want to make stuff retroactive, bring back parole. You know, at least that gives a person a chance if they got a whole bunch of discrepancies, a whole bunch of write-ups and stuff like that on their jacket. All right, they need a little bit more time to think about what they did before they get let out back out in society again. But the way they're sentencing and stuff like that, and just the way the laws are set up, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. Well, I'm gonna end it with that, man. My brother Rich, he's definitely gonna touch on some more things. These guys know about that 924C stacking, way more than I do. Because a lot of them have been charged with it. So, of course, they've been trying to fight their cases and do some things to gain some freedom, or at least help the next person that comes along. And that's what we're trying to do, man. I know this is new. I know people got a lot of questions. Some people think that I'm crazy. But if you guys understand what's really been going on with the system and stuff like that and how we live, especially as us brothers, I'm not trying to make it a race thing, but that's what it is. Us brothers go through it. We really do. And we're taken away so young that it's that's going to be in another episode because it gets really deep, and I'm not going to go there right now. So this has been Injustice in America, and stay tuned for the next episode. All right, you guys.